It just happened. It literally just happened. What? Please don't be dead. Please don't be dead. His ex and Andy confirmed that he did suicide. I feel bad for anyone who has to deal with my insanity. Please just know this situation. The insane person doesn't feel in control of their actions. 3 hours ago. I legit didn't know about this. I hope we figure out what's happening. And Dr. K makes a video about this. I think we need, as a community, Dr. K to make a really good video about this. Because I don't know if this is streaming related, but trust me, if you're a streamer, everything's about streaming. So, and nobody talks about how, I talked about this with Naja, or I can't remember. I remember having this discussion with somebody. I was talking about how streamers go into streaming as like kids, and they don't understand what kind of psychological effects streaming is gonna have eventually on them. And it's actually crazy. Nobody understands it then, and not enough. There's such a huge gap in the market for a psychologist to go in and help these streamers. I feel like Twitch should have their own staff of psychologists, psychiatrists that are actually going to be like on standby to bigger streamers, you know, to their partners. I think that needs to be done, because this is not one of those things like, oh, streamers are fucking snowflakes. They need to be pandered by fucking doctors or whatever. No, this is a real thing, and trust me, I know I've read a lot of psychology and I've experienced a lot of the things, and now I can't even imagine how someone on a much more grander scale feels. Cause I'm like a shit streamer, like 100 viewer Andy, you know. And I imagine like 10 times or even 100 times that. The pressure is immense, and people need to know how to deal with this. It's actually crazy. It really messes up your inner circuits. If you watch his Dr. K, oh, he had a Dr. K video. This is really hard, and his past depressed streams were chat bully. I mean, chat bully anyone. That's just how the website goes. But I think that the streamers need to be mentally equipped, and they need to deal with that in a proper manner, because that's just how the culture of the Twitch chat is. You can't reform the culture. You just have to be, if you want to be a streamer, you have to understand what's gonna happen, what you have to deal with, and you need to make sure streaming is not like your entire life, and you do some stuff on the side and know how to relax and stuff like that. This is really crazy, reading this like 3 hours ago that he posted. So did Becca answer anything here? I'm guessing it has something to do with a proposal, because this is a weird coincidence. To 4 hours ago post about proposal, 3 hours ago post about I feel bad for him to deal with my insanity, and now we get confirmation, I guess confirmation that he's dead. It's still up in the air, but very likely true. They just see that something is off, but again, they're dealing with a symptom, not the cause. I don't know what caused him to do this. I really don't know anything about him, so I don't want to talk about it, but this is really, really sad, and I feel like this needs to be made into a case. Like, it's inevitable for this to happen. It was bound to happen, like, very soon, dude. It was bound to happen. I talked about this, and I think this is a big issue now, and it's a big turning point. I think it needs to be made clear. It needs to be turned into like a lesson for all the streamers, for the Twitch chat, for the Twitter community, the cancel culture. It needs to be made a good lesson to everybody, and the mental health needs to be kept. That's basically everything I can say on this. It's just, don't underestimate anyone's health issues, no matter how rich or high standing they are. Everyone, no matter how social media portrays their lives, everyone deals with the big issues. Everyone has issues. Their lives are probably even worse off than yours. Don't undermine their issues. Don't think you're the only one struggling. Also, seek help if you need help. The best thing is to talk about it, to realize it. Feels like Etika situation again. Yeah, I mean, it's bound to happen. Like, streaming is like the biggest. Streaming and gaming are the biggest like industries of the 21st century, and things like this, like it or not, they're gonna be more common, way more common, because streamers deal with bigger pressures than basically football superstars. Well, regular football stars, I guess, because they're less out in the field, they're less doing things. Their entire profession, like nobody talks about it. The entire profession of streamers revolves around you interacting with people. And it can flip, and it flips very often. It flips like among the day. Like one day Reddit fucking flames your ass, the other day like Twitter flames your ass. Shit happens all the time, man. Like it's all about the spotlight. Everything is about how you're perceived. Because not much is about your work. Everything is about how you are perceived. And perception can be manipulated very easily. Internet can and will turn on you eventually. Make sure you're well equipped, understand what's happening, make sure you're equipped to deal with it. Like I'd like to think I'm a little bit more informed about these things in psychology than an average streamer, because I did read a bunch of this about this, and I do tend to think a lot about this, and I still get heavily affected. Like it's inevitable. I get heavily affected by streaming, trying to please people, trying to be on time, trying to do everything right, which is impossible. Then you feel the pressure, the anxiety, when the viewer count drops in the 1 month than the last month, or sub count, you're gonna feel that drop. You're gonna feel that drop in there, and like you're gonna start to re-examine everything you're doing, why you're doing it, why this is happening. It could not be your fault. It's just because internet is such a complex landscape. We as mere humans cannot understand it fully. We can't understand all the fluxes, influxes, like how the current flows, how the people come in and shape the stream growth or fall off. And you really cannot comprehend it. So it's best not to think too much about it, but it's inevitable that you do. So eventually it gets to you. I don't know if these are the issues he dealt with. I can guarantee you he dealt with them at some level, but probably he had different issues as well that kind of culminated. So you're doing great from what I've seen. I mean, that's also a thing, because you only see through this window. You only see through the window. You only see what the streamers want you to see. I mean, I am trying to handle myself in the best way possible, and I don't want you to worry about me and anything like that. Trust me. I chose to do this, and I need to understand how to navigate this and how to navigate my own mind in this landscape. No matter how kind-hearted your actions are or may be, no matter how good you might think you are, the media is bound to turn on you eventually, and they will do so, because that's just how the landscape goes. That's how they shape. Something like this is really weird. I've never experienced the feeling of self-worth like that tweet. Extremely public. And the issue is, in the internet, it's gonna be very often taken as hey, I want attention. I haven't had the spotlight on me in a while. Please give me attention, audience. You know, it can be interpreted in such a way, which is very dismissive. And these people need to not do this publicly. They need to do this with real professional staff. And I think Twitch should probably equip a few staff like this. And this is a very big one, actually. Experiencing self-worth. Let me explain to you why this is a common issue with streamers. I thought about this like at great length. Because I did feel a little bit like this. I remember, it's best to think about your roots, you know? Because, okay, let me tell you about this. I had a dream one day when I started making content. That was like 2011, something like that. But I started making content. And then I was doing a bunch of stuff, making stuff left and right. Didn't really work out. And then that, like, never reached over like 1,000 views. I got the biggest Cho'Gath ever video, got a lot. But it didn't result in any subs, you know. And 2016, I started making a little bit more content. I was very active, and at that point, I just got like 50 subs. Okay, and that night, I dreamt that I had 300 subs on YouTube, and I woke up and I was feeling so sad, but a little bit inspired. Like, oh shit, imagine reaching 300 subs on YouTube. Now I want to grind. I want to get that. I want to make my dream real. I literally dreamt that, and I woke up and I was like, shit. And I grinded, and now we have like over 500 subs on Twitch, and over 40,000 on YouTube. which is ridiculous. And you think about it, how much you grew. Like now I can finance myself basically off of you guys, because you guys are awesome and support me, and I can live the dream that I really wanted to do. But the issue is with the streamers, you never really stop to feel good about it, you know? Like May, last two months ago, it was the greatest month ever for my channel. And I never really stopped to think about how good it was and like celebrate and commend myself. I just went and say, okay, what's for June? What's for June? Let's plan content for June, let's work for June, let's do the best we can to make the June not a huge disappointment compared to May. Because it's a really fast landscape on internet. And you don't make something for a week, month, you get forgotten. And you want to do stuff all the time. You really want to do stuff. And the feeling of self-worth is hard to come by, because you don't really congratulate yourself. You don't really feel like you're making impact. Also, this is one huge issue. I really when I started streaming, the idea was I wanted to create a community where we could talk and help each other out. And my goal was to eventually help some people. Like help some people, you know? And I did so. I did, like, I do have some influence. As much as, like, influence is a fucking annoying word to me, I did have some influence. I did have some ripple effect and impact. Because I've had people reaching out to me and said, like, what I've said, what I've talked about, helped them. And they like, kind of started doing better in their life ever so slightly. Even if it's, like, 1%, I'm fucking happy. And that's what I wanted to do. And the thing is, you never see that ripple effect. That's the thing. You do this stuff, but you never see the products of it. It's like farming a garden. Like it's like planting a garden blind. You're gonna plant a garden and it's gonna sprout. You won't see the effects, and you don't know if you planted like 10 million fucking trees or one tree. You don't know. You don't know if you help people. Only when people reach out to you. A lot of them don't. But I did have people on Twitter, on email, and on Discord talking to me and say like, oh, you helped me with this. You're such a nice guy and stuff like that. I'm not trying to brag, but I'm telling you, like, this happens to most streamers who build like a closer community and have some positive effect. And that was the general idea. And the issue is like, it's hard to find self-worth. It's very difficult as a streamer to find self-worth because you really don't see your impact. Like, you don't see your impact as a streamer because you rarely interact with those people in real life. And yeah, that's kind of the point I was getting at from the beginning with this one. You always just want to do more and more. You never feel like you've done enough because you don't see it too much. You only see it on your screen as a bunch of pixels, as a bunch of numbers going up or down. You know? Numbers going up? Okay, well, what's for next month? I don't want it to go down next month. Numbers going down? You feel anxiety. Why defining self-worth by positive impact on people? It's inevitable. It's inevitable. But yeah, that was what I wanted to say, and hopefully a lot of you feel like a little bit more understanding towards how streamers are. And I can't even imagine how it is to be a bigger streamer, because I have a community of like, see, like, not like astronomical view counts and sub counts and stuff. But yeah, I'm telling you, I don't know if Reckful, if any of this has anything to do with him streaming or whatever. I really don't know. But I can guarantee you it impacted the way he shaped his life to an extent. Now, obviously, this is gonna come first at more liable, at more vulnerable humans who obviously had issues in the past. But let's be real, everyone had issues, and I'm telling you, it just takes one bad month. It's like the Killing joke in Batman. One bad day, man. Because how tough are you? How prepared are you for the worst to happen? Do you think you can move on? Could you recover?